This story was sent to me anonymously. The sender asked that it be shared exactly as written, with only minor changes to protect identities. Today's story comes from Emily in Toronto, Canada. She is facing a painful situation and doesn't know what to do. Now, here is how we do it here. If you have a true story you want advice on, message us. We promise not to disclose your identity. Let's open the vault. Please, I want you to listen attentively because at the end of this video, you will need to advise her on what to do. She wrote, "My name is Emily. I am 29 years old and I live in Toronto. Writing this message is not easy for me. I have started writing it many times, and every time I stopped because I didn't know how to explain what happened. But now I feel like I need to tell someone. I feel like I am carrying something heavy in my heart. 3 years ago, my life was very different. At that time, I was focused on my work. I had just finished a difficult relationship that lasted almost 2 years. It ended badly, and it made me afraid of trusting people again. Then I met James. We were introduced by a friend at a conference. He was kind, funny, and attentive. He listened. He cared. I felt like maybe, finally, I could trust again. After 6 months, James proposed. I said yes. I felt like I was finally stepping into a life I could believe in. We planned a small wedding in South Africa. His family wanted it traditional, and I thought it was perfect. The ceremony was simple, but beautiful. I remember looking into his eyes and we exchanged rings. I felt warmth, hope, and a little fear too. Could this really last? I wanted to believe it would. After the wedding, I moved with him to Canada. I left behind my family, my friends, and my work to build a life with him. At first, everything was perfect. We laughed, cooked together, and decorated our apartment. Every little moment felt like a dream I never thought I'd have. I told myself, this is it, I am finally happy. But then little things started happening. James would take calls in another room, sometimes hide his phone when I walked past. I tried to tell myself it was work, that he was busy or stressed, but a small voice in my heart whispered, something is wrong. Then, one evening, I saw a message on his phone. I can't wait to see you tonight. My hands shook. I didn't know who it was from. I wanted to scream, but I felt frozen. Could this really be happening? I started noticing more things. He came home late, sometimes drunk. He avoided my questions and laughed nervously whenever I asked about his day. Then I saw photos on social media, pictures of him with someone I didn't know, lunches, dinners, and trips that weren't meant for me to see. And every time I looked closer, the feeling in my chest got heavier. I couldn't take it anymore. I hired a private investigator. When I got the report, my world collapsed. James had been seeing another woman. Someone he knew before he met me. Worse, she was someone I had met once at a networking event. Everything I thought I knew, everything I built seemed like a lie. I had to know the truth. The next evening, I waited for him to come home. When he walked in, I confronted him. My voice shook, but I tried to stay calm. I said to him, James, I know everything. I saw the messages, the pictures. How could you do this to me? Emily, it's complicated. I didn't mean for it to happen. And I said, complicated? We built a life together. 3 years. How could you betray me like this? He had no answers. I felt rage, heartbreak, and disbelief all at once. The man I trusted, the man I loved, had been living another life behind my back. I left the house the next day. I stayed with a friend. My apartment, my home, everything I had built with him was gone. I felt homeless, not just physically, but emotionally. The worst part is he already has a son with her. I am terrified that one day she might take him, and I don't know if I could survive that, and yet, I still love him. I left angrily. Since then, James has been calling, texting, begging me to come back home. He says he's sorry, that he'll change, that he can fix everything. But how can I trust him again? My heart is torn. I don't know if I should give him another chance or finally move on with my life. Please, I need advice. Should I go back or should I try to rebuild my life without him? Emily's story is heartbreaking, and it's a situation many of us can relate to in some way. She doesn't know what to do, and that's why she reached out to us. Now we turn to you, our viewers. What advice would you give her? Should she go back or should she finally move on with her life? Remember, if you have a story like Emily's, something weighing heavy on your heart, message us. We promise to keep your identity completely private, and we may share it to help others learn, just like today. Comment below, like this video if it touched you, and subscribe to the Secret Story Vault. Because your voice could be the advice someone needs to hear. We'll see you in the next story.